Welcome back to your
Second,
favorite sports podcast. We're back with episode 18. 18, right?
18.
18 because I told you I had
Oh,
ones for
yes.
18, 19. I told you,
Yes.
right? 18.
18.
Yes,
It
yes,
is
we are.
18. Yep.
Okay, 18 is easy, okay? Who's the first person you think of? I'll let you go first. Who do you There's actually two. It's easy banger. I mean, it's easy.
18.
18.
Oh, this is honestly, I'm going to be honest. This is my favorite quarterback of all time.
Wow.
It's the big 1-8 himself,
The
the sheriff,
sheriff. The sheriff.
the sheriff, all Mr. Nationwide himself.
Yes.
You feel me? Big Pay Bennett.
Mr. HOF now.
Absolutely, man. We knew it was
Shout
happening.
out. I
What
mean, of course.
what he would say is, he would talk about other players. He'd be like, they're going in on
Yeah,
roller skates, which is hilarious
yeah.
to me. Roller skates. But yeah, that's a big 1-8, man. Peyton himself.
I agree. It should be, especially with him going into the Hall of Fame. For those that may not be in the loop on that, Peyton Manning has been elected to the Football Hall of Fame,
Mhm.
in one of the least surprising things in football history. Um, but with all his Brady stuff, he really doesn't get the love he should. Like
Nah, he
it's
shouldn't.
crazy. I hear people talking so crazy about how Tom Brady was like so far and away the best quarterback of his generation. And it's like, did you not watch football from the years 2001 to 2010,
16?
16? Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, because I don't know, the sheriff looked pretty good.
Look pretty
18
darn good, man.
18 looked pretty good, man. But
That's my guy, man. He was so good.
I agree with you. I think it should be the Peyton Manning episode. But one a personal favorite, if we want to talk about favorites,
Personal favorite.
personal favorite of mine, I have the jersey hanging in the closet.
Mm.
Number 18, Sir D.D.
Yes,
Gregorius.
sir.
Number 18.
Yes, sir.
And I got the jersey in the closet right now. And it's not going anywhere. Okay,
No,
I don't care. If someone else is going to put on the 18 or whatever, and it's fine. That's Didi's number to me.
absolutely.
It
Absolutely.
just, but listen, that's for some other Didi Gregorius appreciation pod or something. And we'll just leave it at that.
I was at the game too, buddy. Wild card game ties it up. Oof.
Brilliance,
Oh,
just
I was
brilliance.
me, my mom, my brother were flipping out.
How could you not?
Flipping out.
I'll tell you what, that's a regret of mine going back to Peyton. You're talking about being at games. I never saw Peyton Manning play.
Mm.
There's some regrets. Oh man, we might have just we came in with a game plan for this episode, but I feel like
Yeah.
I got to talk about this. I feel
Is
like I
this
got to talk about this.
is this a Omaha right now?
Yeah, I think we're
I
pulling a
think
Omaha, yo.
I think we're doing it.
This
Okay.
is a straight up Omaha
Oh,
right
well,
now.
listen, this is the pod to start audibling and making dummy
Yeah,
calls and
right.
shit.
This is
So
the pod.
this is it.
The Peyton Manning pod is definitely the one to start calling audibles at. That was one of the most annoying things about watching Peyton play. Honestly, like when you weren't rooting for him, when you were rooting against him, is he was going to come up to the line, read your defense like a 2-year-old would read like a 2-year-old's book, but at an adult level.
Yeah.
And 2-year-olds don't even read books. That's how simple it was to him.
Yeah. It's like Dr. Seuss.
And he was just going to call a play.
Yeah.
Like he was just going to call a play. Look, I'm sure Tony Dungy did a lot, and look, he's in the Hall of Fame, but was he calling plays?
Come on.
Was he calling plays?
Come on. Knock it off.
Now, hey, look, I'm sure he had other stuff he had to do, but all he had to do on offense was just tell 1-8 to get out there and do what he does. Do what you do.
That's what he does, man. And you know what's funny? I'm the complete opposite. I loved it. It was my favorite part of his game.
Oh
His
no,
arm-
I love it. I respect
like
it.
the point, like he would come
Yeah,
up,
yeah, yeah.
he would do all these dummy calls. He would change the play maybe 3 times in
Yep.
24 seconds. And it was my favorite part of his game.
Had to have the highest IQ to play with Peyton Manning.
Yeah, and he would have like the big high knee kick, like when he was in shotgun.
Like a horse yell, he
I
would
know.
kick that foot.
And then he'll come here like he's the only guy I see like he would practice all of his like stretch runs, handoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Everything was
I
fundamental.
can hear him in my mind right now. I can hear
Yes.
him yelling at the line.
And the Mannings, just all of them, gigantic heads, huge. Like we're gonna talk
He
about
would
the
have that
biggest helmet.
red. He would have that red mark on his forehead all the time.
It's like
That
For
thing
his
was so pressed on his head.
oh my
Oh
gosh.
my
And
god.
he wore the Revolution helmet too. Like when he was one of
Mhm.
the first guys I saw with it. And it's just he's just a big headed guy. He looked like a quarterback. Like that's what he looked like.
Yeah.
Like if like an action figure. That's what he looked like. He had like the punter sleeves, everything. Like he wasn't like a cool looking dude, but it was something about him that was like like he's just gonna shred your whole defense
Yeah, he's
completely.
just on a whole nother level. But
Couldn't
that's one of
run.
my regrets. We're in
Yeah.
talking about the audible for the episode. Like, let's talk about that. Let's talk
Hmm.
about some of your regrets and then some of your like, thank goodness
That
I
you were
got to
there.
see. Yeah, like
Absolutely.
to me, I definitely like I haven't really been to a ton of football games in my life. I'll tell you this much: I went to see the Giants play the Packers. I didn't
Mhm.
even get to see Aaron Rodgers play quarterback.
What?
Scott Tolzien was playing
Scott
quarterback that
Tolzien.
day. I
Oh
think
my
that's who it
goodness.
was, Scott Tolzien. I think
For the Packers?
for the Packers.
Wow. 'Cause I remember he was a giant. Wasn't he a giant at one
Was
point?
he? Am I thinking of the wrong guy then? Scott Tolzien was it? I all I remember is JPP picked him off and ran it in for a touchdown.
But I think he played for the Giants at one point, correct? Or that was Lorenzen?
Lorenzen played for the Giants. That's
Yes.
for sure.
I got my
Tolzien.
Yankees
I'm looking
mixed
up
up.
Tolzien right now. See where he played. Packers. Yeah. So it was Scott Tolzien.
Hmm.
100%. He's an assistant coach right now on the Dallas Cowboys. Didn't know that.
Wow, what a bummer
Uh
to walk into MetLife like that.
yeah. Yeah. It was still a wild game. It was a lot of fun. But didn't get to see Rodgers. I remember this, one of the most disappointing moments of my childhood. Went to see a preseason game. My first basketball game was a preseason game. Okay.
Hmm.
I believe. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure. But either way, one way or another, AI did not play in the game.
Mm,
And I loved Allen Iverson as a child.
absolutely.
Did not play in the game.
Oh,
You know how disappointing?
that's brutal.
Watch my father watch this and go, he definitely did play in the game. I remember it for a fact. Blah blah. If which my father doesn't have a great memory, so I doubt that'll happen. But and I'm gonna hear it for saying that. He does watch every episode, so hi.
That's crazy. Hi.
Um um yeah, that's one of my great regrets. I mean, I think for a lot of people, never seeing Kobe Bryant play,
Yeah, true.
especially now with his tragic passing, but even still without it, that's that's my biggest sports regret
Mm,
is not seeing Kobe Bryant play. There were so many times where the Lakers would come to town and I would be so close to pulling the trigger on buying tickets and I just wouldn't do it. It was too much money, it was whatever. I just couldn't do it. And like, man, like if I could go back and tell myself, like, doesn't save up the money, like get to the game.
absolutely.
But
Absolutely.
what about you? What are some of your things you like look back and go, man, I wish I would have seen whomever.
I think a lot of stuff for me was more about like I always my one of my favorite things to do as far as like making sure I do it is really being in the moment for moments,
Mhm.
I could say. So like I remember like going to watch like I remember when the like we talked about it before, like the Didi the Gregorius moment. Like
Mhm.
being in that moment, I remember it like yes, like I absorb it. I can play it back in my mind for sure. But one of my this is a funny story. I am like 12 years old. We go to Yankee spring training, right? And this is 2008. So this is the year the Phillies won the World Series, actually.
Mhm.
So we went and we go up and down like the space coast. So like Fort Myers, um, what else is over there? Tampa, Clearwater. We go to like see the Phillies play the Yankees. We go to probably like 6 games in a week. Um, and so we're where the Indians play, and where the Indians used to play looks like Bull Durham in a way. Think Bull
Okay.
Durham. Think
Uh-huh.
like old 1980s baseball movie, like minor league stadium.
Yes. Okay.
Like that's what that was. And so we're there. So like the bleachers are on the side, and like the Yankees, the visiting clubhouse is our trailers, like
Oh my
behind the
god.
behind the fence, and they're like trailers. So like so you could see them coming from the side. Spring training is incredible, like
Yeah.
because you're so close to the players. And so I am. This is like younger Trent. So like I was 12 and I could eat at 12 years old, right? I was doing my thing. I used to wear a husky at 12, right?
You're not
So
alone.
yes, so I'm eating, right? And I'm eating uh funnel cake. And my brothers and my mother never like I could never hold this down or like live this down. But Hideki Matsui catches a fly ball and he's running. He's running back into the dugout. And I want to say we're like the third bleacher seat
Mm-hmm.
from Hideki. Hideki is probably like 4 feet away from me. And he tosses this baseball to me and he looks me dead in my eyes. And I didn't put the funnel cake down, right? And the ball comes and I don't catch the baseball because I had the funnel cake in my hand.
Oh my
And
god.
my mother, my dad, God rest his soul, and my brothers are like screaming at me, like, Trent, what are you doing? Like, he threw the ball to you. Catch the ball.
Oh
And
my
I'm looking at
god.
him, and the look on my face was like, and I still
Yeah.
had the funnel cake in my hand because there was no way the funnel cake was coming out of my hand. And
Oh my goodness.
I had like the sugar on my chest.
Covered.
I was a slob, you know what I mean? And so
That's amazing.
I never live it down. So that's one of the sports things I regret from man, I could have had a ball tossed to me from Hideki Matsui.
I love that.
Yes, man.
I
Brutal.
love that.
Oh, it was brutal, man.
That's one of the greatest stories I've ever heard you tell ever. That is amazing because I can so picture it. I
You
can
picture, like,
oh my gosh.
young Trent.
Oh, with the funnel cake and the look on your face. Oh my gosh. That's amazing.
It is great, man. It's hilarious.
Shout out to Hideki.
Yes, man. Legend.
See, now what would be great? What would be tremendous? You have to somehow get like like a funnel cake sign, like some random company that makes funnel cake. You got to get like some kind of signage or a box that the funnel cake would come in. You got to get Hideki to sign it.
You got to.
And he would not understand at all what's happening, but you'd be
Nope.
like, you just have to do this for me. You just have
do
to
it for
sign
me.
this. Because that would be just tremendous.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, that's great. Maybe we'll make some merch with like a powdered sugar print of a baseball, like on the chest logo. How fire would that be?
That would be great. That would be great, man.
Oh man.
Great. I promise you, it was so crazy. I don't like. I have pictures and everything from all this stuff, but
that's fantastic.
yeah, I mean, you can imagine 12-year-old Trent in the middle of the summer or spring training in Tampa, just like us, just sweating, like yo, like just enjoying. I was so in. I didn't even care who was playing. I was so into this funnel cake, and the ball was coming in. Like they looked at me like, "Yo, hey Trent, the ball's coming. Catch the ball." And I look, and I'm just like blankly staring at him throw this ball to me, and I don't catch the ball, and someone else caught the ball. But it was coming. I'm telling you, it was like slow motion. The ball was coming, and I just, you know what I mean?
It happens.
It happens, man. It happens.
Oh my god, I love it. I love how different like that is from my regret. I feel like I'm pretty good. I mean, obviously, as you get older, you get better at this, but I feel like I'm pretty good at being in the moment and remembering the feeling and all that stuff. Like I feel like even years ago, like I can remember things that have happened, and like where I was sitting and whatever. And so my regrets are more like things that I didn't get to do that I could have like banked in my memory. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely.
Like never even getting the chance to do that. I really wish, not to get all sappy or sentimental, but like I had this pipe dream of getting to go to one more baseball game with my grandfather. I don't know if I've ever actually gone to a baseball game. I had ever gone to a baseball game with my grandfather.
Really?
Like a major league game. I don't know that I don't think I ever have actually. And he loved the Yankees. My grandfather used to watch them all the time. He wouldn't even know who the hell's on the field. He really like he couldn't see that well, so he was just like, and we don't got names on the jerseys anyway, and he couldn't pronounce half the guys' names. So he just watched the team. Like he was just rooting for the team.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's definitely. I would have loved to have been. I wouldn't say it's a regret, but I would have loved to have been able to go to a game with my grandfather. That's something I
Definitely,
never got to do. But
definitely.
yeah, not seeing Kobe, things that I'm it to reverse it to take more of a positive spin. Things that I'm glad or that I'm grateful. I went to the game, the first game at Yankee Stadium after Bob Shepard and
Oh yeah,
Mr. Steinbrenner
yeah,
died.
2010, right?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and that was nuts. And that was just by chance. A person I knew had tickets and invited me to go. And that was like, and I know I've talked to you, and I probably talked to anybody about that night because it was just so crazy. And it wound up being a walk-off winner. Swisher hit a single, and we walked it off. And it was against the first place Rays at the time. CC was on the mound. David Price was on the mound. Like it was. This is when people. This is when people actually cared about David Price. Um, but yeah, just so it like so grateful to have been there for that moment. You will never hear Yankee Stadium that quiet, packed Yankee
Absolutely.
Stadium to the gills, that dead quiet. And then the way it started with a moment of silence and the quietest I've ever heard that stadium, and then finished with just an eruption
Yes.
when Swish hit that walk off. I mean, just amazing. Just like you can't,
Incredible, man.
yeah,
Incredible.
you can't script that. You can't anything. Like that was that. That's something I'm grateful for sure to have been able to witness. I'm trying to think if there's anything else really like really crazy. Um, I'm grateful to my pops and to my cousins who took us me and my cousins when we were really little. We went on a trip to Toronto for opening day, and it's the year that Jeter broke his ankle sliding into third. And they
I
had to
remember
cart
that.
him off the field. And I remember as a kid being so pissed off because people cheered like as he was being carted. Now I get it was respect, like they were like
Yeah,
cheering him, like, oh, okay.
yeah, yeah.
But at the time, as a little kid, I was like, these people are cheering that Derek Jeter's hurt. I was so mad as a whatever, a 6-year-old.
No, definitely, man.
But that man, like that's something that I would do with my kids. I encourage anybody to do that. If you got a kid that loves sport, that like even likes sports, like do something like that. Take them on a trip with some other like family or friends or whatever. Because those memories, I don't remember barely anything from being 6 years old, but I remember so many moments from that trip to anybody of any age have kids or planning to have kids, whatever, do stuff like that. Because like you really remember it. That's singed in my brain. So many memories from that trip. But the biggest memory from that trip, Vernon Wells. The Rogers Center has a hotel in it.
Yep.
We were in the hotel. We stayed in the hotel with stadium view windows. So we didn't buy tickets to the games. We just
Yeah.
watched the games from our hotel room, which is amazing. Um,
That's crazy.
we were above the lighting guys. This is back when like laser lights were a big deal. So they did a laser light show on the field for
Oh
opening
wow.
day. And they put like the Blue Jays logo and lasers and then like the guy's name. So my cousins talked to the guys down. They're literally below us, like 3 stories below us, whatever. Two stories, 2 floors, 3 floors. They talked to the guys doing the laser light show. They put my cousin's name on the field pregame in lasers.
Oh wow.
Yeah, we have pictures. It's crazy.
That's wild, dude.
But in pregame, um, the Jays are out on the field before anybody's in the stadium, but we're there.
Mm-hmm.
And me and my cousin, shout out to Ryan, we're standing in the window yelling for them to throw us a ball. We are 5, 6, 7 floors up from the field, from the actual turf of the field. And we're screaming like, throw us a ball, throw us a ball, throw us a ball. And like, no one's throwing us a ball. This is like Delgado, Vernon Wells, like primetime Jays from our childhood. And then finally we're yelling and yelling. And then Vernon Wells he turns around. And in that moment, me and my cousin start losing it. We're like, oh, he's gonna, and then our dads come flying up to the window and are like, get out of the way, because they know we're gonna drop it.
Yeah,
Just like Young T with the funnel cake. They know
absolutely,
we're fumbling this baseball.
absolutely.
And you can see Vernon Wells is measuring. He's like with his eyes measuring the distance from where he is to where the window is. And then he cocks back and heaves this ball up at the window. Yo, it came up, and I can do it because I actually have a window, I have the window of the camera here. It literally went, and then, and as on the way back down, my cousin stuck his hands out, ball right in his hands.
Really.
They definitely still have it. They
It was
better
a
still have it.
perfect throw.
Perfect throw. And to the point where the guys on the field, him, Delgado, the guys lost it. They started cheering and like losing their minds because I'm sure
Wow.
so many times they had thought about it,
Yes,
but like no one had the window open and looking out the window. And they finally, Vernon was like, I'm doing it.
absolutely. And it was a perfect throw.
And perfect,
Like
perfect
perfect.
throw. It
That's
landed right in
crazy.
his hands. It
That's so
landed right in
crazy.
his hand. But yeah, do stuff like that with your kids, man. Because like that story, I'll
Please.
be telling my grandkids that story. And in
Absolutely.
this story, somehow like I'll be so old and senile, it'll be me that threw the ball. So,
Absolutely, man.
but
Absolutely. I would like those are the moments like being able to go see Mo at the Hall of Fame last year. Like it was so great. And I suggest anyone go because it's free. It's free to go. You don't need
mhm,
like tickets or anything. You just need to you just bring your chair. Like you bring a chair or like you bring like a lawn chair or like a blanket and
mhm.
you sit there and you watch it. Um and it's such an amazing thing to watch. And just Cooperstown in general is just if you love baseball and you get a chance to go, that was my second time going, but it was my first time going as an adult. I went as a young person,
Mhm.
I went like when I was like 11 or 12, 12 I want to say, yeah, 12 or 13 I went, and it was incredible. But I have such an appreciation now at like 27,
Of course.
28 for going, and you're more of a historian and like love the game. And I suggest everyone go because it's not like you just got to pay for your hotel. And if you want to go eat, you go to the or the stores, or you want to go into the Hall of Fame. That's the stuff you pay for. But
Yep.
everything else is free. So like seeing like the pros, like seeing all the legends, that was my thing. Like I got a chance to see like you. The best thing about Cooperstown is walking down like downtown Cooperstown and like Ozzie Smith is signing like
Yeah.
on the sidewalk. It's not like he's in a store. He's in front of a store, and it's Ozzie Smith and like Ozzie Smith and Goose Gossage, or Ozzie Smith and God rest. Luckily, I saw all these guys when I was there, but like Ozzie Smith and Lou Brock, and
Mm.
Ozzie Smith and Bob Gibson, or it's
Dude, can we talk about that for a second? How many legends
I know,
are like Hank Aaron, the latest and greatest, honestly. I mean,
and it's crazy,
just
dude.
crazy. So to your point of like how grateful you are to have had that experience,
Yeah,
especially now with all these guys, that's like real life Field of Dreams that you just
it's
walk down the street and these guys are
yo,
there.
it's exactly it because they're walking, and then you'll see like guys you knew, but you still remember them as ball players. So like
Mm-hmm.
I'm walking down, and there's this taller black guy walking. He's got somebody with him, but he's walking
Just
like
with like
no
a
one,
person, like an average
no
person just walking the
exactly,
street.
no one there is like too big for themselves in a way. So like you know how these celebs walk with like security if they're in LA or
Yes.
New York. You can't do that there if you're a baseball player because there's always going to be someone bigger than you that's a
Yeah.
legend. So like Mike Cameron, right, is walking down the street, and I see him like, oh, what's up, Mike? And he talks to you.
Yeah.
Daryl Strawberry is at my hotel that I stayed at.
Wild.
And he's in the parking lot at like 8 a.m. during the ceremony started at 12. We got up at 8 to get over there. And he's in the parking lot at this Comfort Inn, like the most random hotel in Cooperstown you could think of. He's standing in the parking lot at his car, and you just walk in. You're like, oh, that's Daryl. Like Daryl, like at the hotel.
Daryl?
I mean, and it's like there's like there's like four hotels in
Yeah,
Cooperstown.
there's not a lot of
You know
hotels.
what I mean? But like, but yeah, like no one is ever. you're don't think you're bigger than the town or whoever's there, because
There's no possible way.
if Mike Cameron's walking and he thinks he's a big dog, or I'm not saying he was, but like if any guy who in there thinks like I'm the man, just down the street or a couple feet away is Pete Rose signing a baseball
Yeah,
or doing a signing, or what's his name? I'm trying to think of the guys I saw. I saw him. So Jack Morris was there too,
crazy.
because they had the whole Dave Winfield. They had like the
Oof,
whole
love Dave
parade,
Winfield.
and then when you see the parade and you see Hank, you see Frank Thomas, you see Burt Blyleven, and you see Greg Maddox, and all these guys. It's like, whoa, like this is ridiculous. Like this is like everything you thought of and all the history that you see, and like all this. It's like Night at the Museum. Like all of
Yeah,
them
wow,
come off.
that's
You know
crazy.
what I
That's a
mean?
great
Like
way to describe
all
it.
the plaques and everything that you see on the wall, they all come alive and are driving in the street,
That's
and you see
wild.
like the real life person. It's
That's a
like,
commercial right there. You just like that's
did I do
a
that?
hell of an
Wow.
ad read
It
for
should be like some
Cooperstown,
Ford
man.
commercial, some Chevy commercial, or something like that.
Uh,
That is crazy, right?
that's yeah. I mean, that's a great ad read for Cooperstown.
Sure.
Not a sponsor of the show, but maybe
Nah,
one day. Who knows?
man, one day, man. Cut the check, man.
Visit www.visitcooperstown.com. I don't even
Yeah.
know if that's a thing, but
They
can
gotta
make
give
it
us
a
a
thing.
code or something like that.
Yeah.
Use our
And
code for
yeah,
something.
use code second fave for 10% off. And your comfort in stay in
Yes.
Cooperstown, New York.
Exactly. Your comfort in, or residence in, whatever that hotel
Whatever
was.
it is. We'll figure it out. We'll get
Nah,
the coupon
definitely.
code.
Get the coupon code for real.
That's wild. Well, before we wrap up, there is one thing that I want to talk about just briefly because we just passed the Super Bowl. Super Bowl
Yep.
just went by. And man, did it crawl by in a very uneventful fashion. And we don't, whatever. You could go to another podcast. You can go to your third favorite podcast to hear about a breakdown of the Super Bowl. You don't need to hear our
Definitely.
breakdown of the Super Bowl.
Nah, you
What I do
definitely
want to
don't.
ask you is, so Tom Brady won the MVP, and as the MVP, of course, every year they do. Where does the MVP go, Trent?
He's going to Walt Disney World.
Of course, he's going to Disney World.
Yep.
So he forgoes going to Disney World. I don't know if you saw this, and he let Gronk go in his place, which, like, of course he did. And of course Gronk said yes. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was like, hey, Rob, I'm not trying to go to Disney. I'm trying to stay home and kiss my kids on the mouth.
Oh man, that was crazy. I got a lot of Brady jokes too. I don't necessarily want to get them off right now, but off pod.
But he was like, I just put my whole hand in front of the camera. And of course Gronkowski's like, yeah, I'll go, and he's like out there playing with a lightsaber and stuff. My question is, can we get a different sponsor? I'm all for Disney. I'm not one of these Disney adults. Like, I'm not, and that's a whole nother discussion as well. I'm not going to get into, because there are people that watch this pod that I will offend, and I'm not trying to do that today. But I love Disney. Disney's great. Can we get a different sponsor? What if Vegas, let's say the Vegas Raiders win the Super Bowl? How fire and realistic would it be if, like, let's say, I don't know, who do we want to say is the MVP? Not Derek Carr.
Waller. Let's say Waller.
Sure. Waller
Josh
wins
Jacobs.
the MVP. Josh Jacobs wins the MVP. And they say, Josh, you just won the Super Bowl. What are you going to do? And Josh Jacobs goes, I'm going to Dre's. Now, that's real.
That's super real.
Like,
that's
I don't know if Dre's got that kind of cachet. Not that kind of cachet. Got that kind of cash, literal cash.
I don't know.
Make that happen. But, like, let's just let them say where they're actually going to go. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yo.
I'd love to hear that.
Let's keep it real. Like, why are we sugarcoating this? Like, Gronk is, Gronk. I can see Gronk at Disney World. That's the thing.
You'd get some answers that were super wholesome. You get, like, I'm going to Mom's for a home cooked meal.
Yes.
And that'd be a beautiful moment.
It would.
But you'd get some dudes that are like, I'm going to, pick a city and name the most popular gentleman's club in that city.
Absolutely.
you know?
Absolutely. Just
But
keep it real with us.
I guess then you'd have every kid in America Googling like
Magic
that.
City.
Yeah, yeah,
Hey mom, what's Magic City?
yeah. That sounds fun, like um I don't know. I just like I thought of that and I'm like, how are we still saying we're going to Disney? I
I
mean the
feel you,
money, that's
man.
why we're still saying it.
Absolutely. Like I
But
would love for them to somebody else cut the check. Like I would love like wouldn't a Magic City like I'm going to Magic City cut like sponsorship would be incredible post game
it would be insane.
because it's not like we're not gonna go. Like we're going. I guarantee you.
Everybody, how about the have you seen clips from the parade today? The
No, I
parade,
haven't.
which by the way was on boat.
Oh,
Did you know
really?
this? They rode boats like
Oh,
through the
that's incredible.
canals or whatever.
That's incredible.
There are videos out there of smashed Tom Brady, just
Really?
piss drunk Tom Brady.
Oh,
Like
that's great.
he's stumbling out of the place and someone's holding him up as he's walking out. And he's just like pointing at people with their cameras and stuff. He's waved.
Oh man.
Drunk Brady is almost as fun as drunk Drake, for real.
Oh yeah,
He
definitely.
tweeted out, and I don't know, maybe it's all a work, but he tweeted out like too much tequila or something like that. And like the Q in tequila was capitalized and like it was all
Ah,
messed up. At
that's
one point,
crazy.
so he's on the back of a boat at one point. He has the Lombardi trophy. He throws it to Gronk, who is on another boat.
You're are you serious?
Yes, yo, I'm telling you. Hold on. Let me find this video. Take me 2 seconds. Take me 2 seconds. I gotta look up. What do I look up? Brady throws trophy. There you go. It was already there. Brady throws trophy. First off, here's I don't know if I'm allowed to show this. It's on Twitter. Am I allowed to show this? I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't. I showed it for a second. All right, I won't
Yeah,
show it. I won't show it. I don't know if I'm
what's
allowed to show it. I don't even know if that clip we might get demonetized.
well,
That's all right. We make no money anyway.
let's there's no money coming to the pot. Well, what's the title so you can tell the people?
Just go on at your favorite social media or go on Google and just look up Brady throws Lombardi trophy. I guarantee you it will be the first result. Okay.
That's
But
incredible.
he stood on the back of a boat and hoisted the Lombardi trophy up to Gronkowski on another boat
So crazy.
over probably a 6 foot stretch of water. Like it
Wow.
wasn't, the boats weren't like this. They
Nah.
were a distance away from each other. They were socially distant, these boats.
And they were drunk too. They had to be drunk.
They were drunk. And Brady threw the $2 million Lombardi. Not that $2 million means anything to Tom Brady,
Zero.
but the trophy, I would think, although I guess when you have 7, you could care less.
Care less about number 7.
There's a video out there of Serena Williams going through her house. Like she did like an MTV Cribs, but like not Cribs, I think for Architectural Digest or whatever these, they do these videos on YouTube that are very popular. She went through her trophy room and she like couldn't remember what trophy was what. She's like, I think that's a Wimbledon. I think that's an Australian. And she like picks it up. She's like, yeah, that's an Australian. She's like, I don't know, 07, 2010. She goes, what years did I win? Best. Like crazy.
Oh, stunting crazy on everyone. Huh?
So, these athletes, they just don't, Tom Brady's like, yeah, I'll throw a Lombardi trophy around. It is what it is.
They really, honestly, it's just a piece of they want the feeling. They don't care about the trophy.
That's
man.
true.
Like, I think how many guys sell off their stuff? The rings and all that
it's
stuff.
It's just some metal. It's really all about that. You got the memory and the feeling.
Think about us as fans. If you told me like I can get the Jets, I wasn't even alive. If I can get so let's just do this. If I can get to have the 09 ring or like a 97 Yankees ring or trophy itself, the trophy, and I could keep that in my house, I'm doing it.
Yeah.
They don't care.
But well, you know what though? There's a difference. Some people would say like that's ridiculous that you would want it or whatever because you weren't a part of it, but that's why you want it because it's a piece of piece of the history that you were not physically necessarily present for. These guys don't need that stuff because they were there. They were there. The only way that's getting taken away from them is like dementia.
Yes.
Other than that, like they got it. So they don't need this piece of hardware to remind them. Tom Brady don't need the Lombardi trophy to remind him he's a 7-time Super Bowl champion. Absolutely. He remembers every single one.
Every single one. And I think also they don't live in nostalgia, players.
You
They live in
can't.
a
You
moment.
can't.
You
That's how
can't.
you lose.
Exactly. But me, Trent,
I
I'm a
love nostalgia.
'09 was incredible. Like the Subway Series, I went to that parade at 11 years old or 9. What is that? 9? Oh, 2000. Yeah, 2000. I was 8 years old. Um, incredible. Like I remember that vividly. I could feel the cold air on my body right now, just thinking about it when I close my eyes. But I guarantee you, like, where is that ring for Derek Jeter? That 2001. Who knows?
I think it's probably at mom and dad's house. I feel like
Come
that's a
on.
lot of what I guess I would do that too if I was an athlete. Like I would let my parents have some of my stuff and like
Yeah,
hold on. I'll be honest with you, I'm not a famous athlete and most of my stuff is at my parents'
of
house
course. That's
right now.
exactly it.
You know, it's like the stuff that you're
Exactly.
like, I can't have this taking up space. You want this? Yeah, all right.
But
Every
that's
high school yearbook, you know
but
what I
that's
mean?
why we collect. We collect and we get signed stuff and
You just
because
want a
we
piece of the action that
we
you
couldn't play.
yeah.
Like all this stuff, think about it, right? The things that you played in, the shirts, the jerseys, the high school stuff that you played in, you don't even know where that stuff is.
Nope.
That's how the players feel, I guarantee.
Yeah. Yeah,
It's just
it
like, all
doesn't
right, like
matter that it's on a professional level.
yeah,
It's
like I have my letter from when I played baseball in high school, and that was a great moment, and those were fun. And I have my championship ring when we won the state championship. But like that was, that was going on. What is it? Yeah, like 12 years ago,
yeah.
14 years ago. So like at this point, I know where my signed Mariano Rivera picture is,
Yeah,
though.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know what I mean? I know exactly where that is, or like my
That's funny.
signed my signed Jorge Posada baseball that I got in there, or my Hideki Matsui ball that I didn't catch. You know what I mean? I know exactly where all that stuff would be. But if you told me where my T-shirt was from my junior year of high school that I played baseball, which I played in,
Right, yeah, yeah. Which you
like
actually made the memories in?
yes, exactly. Like I worked hard that summer to get on the baseball team in that winter, and I don't even know where that is. But
It's
trust me, the things that I didn't wear, but I remember because it brought joy to my life. Yeah, I definitely know where that
hey,
is.
look, that's all that's nostalgia. That's exactly where it is.
Mhm.
I mean, that's why you see stuff like the sports car market booming, which I'd love to talk about in another episode.
Absolutely, I would
We
love
should
to.
hit on that for a little bit. The sports
I want
car
parts, but
market.
I can't even get any. I'm gonna have to just go buy somebody's card to start my collection because
Yeah.
I can't go get anything,
Bro,
man. It's crazy.
when you got you got Steve Aoki opening up his own hobby shops and like buying stuff. You got dudes who currently play buying stuff of
It's
other
crazy.
dudes. Like it's a
Crazy.
whole nother world now. And so yeah, we'll talk about that. We'll hit on that on another episode.
Yeah, I
But
want you to. I want you to leave because I mean I think you can get someone started. I need like it's no secret for podcast listeners, but if I'm gonna start which I plan on doing, me and Nick have talked about this. I gotta come to Nick for the goods. Like, give me the process because I have a bunch of cards. I got football, I got baseball, I got basketball cards, but they're old. Like they're from when I was 12, 10 years old,
you never
and I
know,
don't know
man.
if there's anything mint in there. But I need to go to the experts to let me know. I got some good stuff. I believe. So we're gonna see, man. But
We'll
I
see.
would
But
love
we
a.
might we maybe we'll dig through Trent's collection on an episode one day. Pull some stuff out, talk
Mm,
about some nostalgia. Talk about some
yes,
nostalgia.
absolutely, man.
That's a good way to spend a night. That's a good way to spend an episode. It's a good way to spend a night. Just kick it, flip through some old cards, remember some stuff. I've done that with some friends of mine, grab a few drinks and just like have a chill night, throw on some sports and like just go dive into it. But we hope that you've dove into this episode. We hope you're still here with us. If you are, we appreciate it. This has been episode 18, the Sheriff. Shout out to the Sheriff. Happy Hall of
Absolutely,
Fame to you, um,
definitely,
and all the other entrants. We know they watch the show, so we have to
of
obviously
course,
say congratulations to
of
them. They're
course.
watching. Megatron, Charles Woodson. We know they're watching. Because look, we're not just ours. We're not just yours. We're everyone's
Mm,
second favorite sports
there you
podcast.
go. That's it.
And this has been episode 18. I stole Trent's line. I'm sorry. I'll let him say it twice in the next episode or 3 times. I promise. But that's it for this episode. Don't forget to follow us at Second Favorite Sports on Instagram. Don't forget to like and comment and subscribe on our YouTube page, youtube.com/Second Favorite Sports, and download episodes, listen to the audio, soundcloud.com/Second Favorite Sports. So everything is easy. Second Favorite Sports, you'll find us. We'll come up. That's it.
That's it.
And that's it for episode 18. We'll catch y'all on 19. Peace.
Peace.